The old graveyard was silent. The air was thick and cold. A full moon hung high above, casting long, eerie shadows. Among the weathered tombstones, a lone figure stood. Her name was Anya, and she felt drawn to this place. Anya always felt a connection to the supernatural. She spent her nights reading about ancient legends and forgotten lore. She was particularly captivated by tales of vampires. Their eternal life fascinated her, but she also feared their darkness. One night, she felt an irresistible pull towards the graveyard. It was as if something was calling her name. As she wandered deeper into the graveyard, she noticed a figure watching her from the shadows. Her heart skipped a beat. He stepped into the moonlight, and Anya gasped. He was impossibly handsome, with piercing blue eyes and an aura of both danger and allure. He moved with a grace that was almost inhuman. Anya was frozen in place, caught between fear and fascination. "Don't be afraid," he said, his voice a soft, hypnotic murmur. "I won't harm you." His words were like a gentle caress, wrapping around her like a warm, comforting blanket in the cold night. Anya wanted to run, but his words seemed to weave a spell around her, keeping her rooted to the spot. Her heart pounded in her chest, a mix of fear and an inexplicable attraction. He introduced himself as Lucian, and Anya was drawn to his enigmatic aura. There was something about him that was both alluring and dangerous, a combination that she found impossible to resist. They began to meet every night in the graveyard. Each encounter was shrouded in mystery, the air thick with unspoken words and hidden desires. Lucian told her stories of his long life, a tapestry of love, loss, and the constant thirst for blood that tormented him. His voice was filled with sorrow and regret, painting vivid pictures of a life lived in shadows. Anya was torn. She knew she should stay away, that his world was one of darkness, but she found herself falling for him. The more she learned about him, the deeper her feelings grew. Their connection deepened with each passing night. They shared secrets, dreams, and fears, their bond growing stronger with each whispered word. Lucian's touch sent shivers down her spine, and his kisses were intoxicating. They were like a drug, leaving her craving more, even though she knew the danger. He made her feel alive in a way she never had before. Every moment with him was a thrilling adventure, a dance on the edge of a precipice. But her love was a dangerous game. She was playing with fire, and she knew it. The line between love and danger blurred, and she was caught in the middle. One night, under the ghostly glow of the moon, Lucian confessed his love for her. His words were a balm to her soul, yet they also brought a new level of fear. "I never thought I'd find someone like you," he whispered, his eyes burning with an intensity that both scared and excited her. His gaze was like a window to his soul, revealing the depth of his feelings. "But our love is forbidden. You're immortal, and I am cursed." His words hung in the air, a stark reminder of the impossible nature of their love. Yet, despite the looming danger, Anya couldn't imagine her life without him. Anya knew the risks, yet she couldn't resist the pull she felt towards Lucian. Every fiber of her being was drawn to him, like a moth to a flame, despite the danger that lurked in the shadows. Their love was a dance with death, a forbidden tryst under the watchful eyes of the ancient headstones. Each night, they met in the graveyard, a place that held both beauty and terror, where the living and the dead coexisted in a delicate balance. She found herself drawn deeper into his world, a world of shadows and secrets. The allure of the unknown was intoxicating, and she couldn't help but be captivated by the mysteries that surrounded Lucian. The graveyard became their sanctuary, a place hidden from judging eyes. It was here, among the tombstones and the whispers of the past, that they could be themselves, free from the constraints of society. Here, she could forget about the world outside and lose herself in his embrace. The darkness that enveloped them was a comforting shroud, shielding them from the harsh realities of their forbidden love. But their secret couldn't stay hidden forever. The shadows have eyes, and whispers travel fast in the world of the supernatural. There were others like Lucian, ancient vampires who did not approve of their love. These beings, bound by centuries-old traditions, saw their relationship as a threat to their very existence. One night, as Anya and Lucian met in their usual spot, they were surrounded. The air grew thick with tension, and the once serene graveyard now felt like a trap. Three figures emerged from the darkness, their eyes glowing with a malevolent light. These were not just any vampires. They were the enforcers of the ancient code, guardians of their kind's secrets. They were vampires, followers of an ancient code that forbade any interaction with humans. Their presence was a stark reminder of the dangers that came with their love. "Lucian," one of them hissed, his voice dripping with venom, "you know the rules." His words were a chilling reminder of the consequences they faced. "You cannot consort with this mortal girl." The threat was clear, and the weight of their disapproval hung heavy in the air. Lucian stepped forward, shielding Anya with his body. His love for her was stronger than any fear, and he was willing to face the wrath of his kind to protect her. "She is mine," he growled, his fangs bared in a silent snarl. His defiance was a bold declaration of his love, a love that transcended the boundaries of life and death. Section 4. Blood and Roses. Anya watched in terror as a fierce battle erupted. The air crackled with supernatural energy as Lucian fought with a ferocity she'd never witnessed. He moved like a phantom, striking his attackers with deadly precision. But they were relentless. The ground was stained with blood, the scent of iron heavy in the air. Anya realized, with a sickening feeling, that it was Lucian's blood. He was outnumbered, and despite his strength, he was beginning to weaken. Desperation clawed at her. One of the attackers lunged at Lucian, sinking his fangs into his arm. Lucian cried out in pain, and Anya knew she had to act. She grabbed a broken headstone, its edges sharp and jagged, and charged at the vampire who was attacking Lucian. He saw her coming and laughed, a chilling sound that echoed through the graveyard. "Foolish human," he sneered. "You are no match for us." But Anya was fueled by love and fear. She swung the headstone with all her might, catching the vampire off guard. Section 5. The Hunter's Moon. The night was eerily silent, the full moon casting an otherworldly glow over the forest. The moonlight filtered through the dense canopy, creating ghostly patterns on the forest floor. The headstone connected with the vampire's head with a sickening thud, the sound echoing through the still night air. It was a desperate move, but it had the desired effect. He crumpled to the ground, lifeless, his body collapsing into an unnatural heap. The once menacing creature was now nothing more than a lifeless husk. Anya stood there, trembling, her breath coming in short, sharp gasps. Her heart pounded in her chest, each beat a reminder of the danger that still loomed. The remaining two vampires turned their attention to her, their eyes blazing with fury. Their glowing eyes seemed to pierce through the darkness, locking onto her with predatory intent. Lucian, despite his wounds, managed to push himself to his feet. His body ached with every movement, but he knew he couldn't afford to show weakness now. He stood protectively in front of Anya, a shield against the darkness that threatened to consume them. His presence was a beacon of hope in the overwhelming darkness. "Leave her be," he growled, his voice strained but resolute. "This is between us." His words were a challenge, a declaration of his willingness to fight to the death. The vampires exchanged a look, a silent communication passing between them. It was clear they were strategizing, planning their next move. Anya felt a chill run down her spine, the cold fingers of fear gripping her heart. She knew they were outnumbered and outmatched. They were powerful, ancient creatures, and even with Lucian by her side, she feared they would not escape this night unscathed. Their presence was overwhelming, a testament to their centuries of existence. As the vampires advanced, their fangs bared in a silent snarl, Anya felt a strange sense of calmness wash over her. It was as if time had slowed, and she could see every detail with crystal clarity. The fear was still there, but it was overshadowed by a profound sense of love for Lucian and a fierce determination to protect him, even if it meant sacrificing herself. She knew that their bond was stronger than any fear, and it gave her the strength to face the darkness head-on.